hope once the Panthers game ended yesterday, you flipped over and watched the end of that Duke-UConn game, because what a crazy ending that was. Wow. I'm still coming down from it here on Florida Panthers Daily. What's going on? Back on a Monday. We are here with you, and we will be doing our final four of our fan vote bracket challenge. That's why I'm mentioning college basketball, because if you've been following along with us, we've been doing a bracket style of Panthers players. I'll tell you a little bit more about it coming up later on the show, but I need you to be part of it, letting me know in the comments who you have moving on past our final four into the championship. Of course, now that the final four is set in March Madness, and what a way it was set. Wow, my Florida Gators were beat. That game was awesome. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here on Florida Panthers Daily every single day, Monday through Friday, to bring you through the ups, the downs, and all in the between of this Florida Panthers season, because it has been a roller coaster, and there was a lot of action happening over the weekend for the Florida Panthers. What's up? I'm back with you, AJ Sheridan Radio, on all social media. Subscribe down below. Follow me on social media if you want to stay up to date with everything Florida Panthers. My mind is in scrambled eggs right now, because I was getting ready to sit down and record this with about 5 minutes left in that Duke game, and I said, let me just watch the end of this. And I had all my notes, but man, all I can think about right now is that college basketball game. But no, we're going to talk some Florida Panthers hockey, because it was two games over the weekend for the Cats, both resulting in losses, but maybe the perfect weekend if you are a Florida Panthers fan, because it was two losses. And if you're keeping track of the draft lottery, which we will here later on in the week on Florida Panthers Daily, keep you updated on that. It's not a bad thing if you're losing games, especially having the performances you got from Matthew Tkachuk. It's still fun to watch, because in that first game where the Panthers would fall to the Islanders by the final score of 5-2, Matthew Tkachuk scored 2 goals, and I mean one of the best goals you will see all year long. I'm rewatching it right now, and man, I could rewatch this all day long. In fact, that's exactly what I did Saturday, because I won't say goal of the year as if it's a question. If you're a Florida Panthers fan, that was the goal of the year. Between the legs, top shelf, where Mama Moeller keeps the peanut butter. It was straight filth from Matthew Tkachuk. After the game, head coach Paul Maurice said, incredible hands on him. It's not for show. That was probably the most efficient and best way for him to get the puck past the goalie. He's just got incredible awareness of where goalies are and where the puck is and where his body is. That about sums it up for the Florida Panthers, who again would fall on Saturday in their first game of 2 up in the Big Apple to the New York Islanders by a final score of 5-2. It was 2-0. The Panthers were leading with 8 minutes to go in the second period, and well, it was a flurry of goals put on by the New York Islanders. 5 goals in the next 12 minutes. There wouldn't be a goal in the third period, and that is how you get to the final score. And if you just kind of look at some of the big numbers, you kind of expect that final score to be what it was. Outshot in this game 40-21, and inside the circle, 65% of the faceoffs were won by the New York Islanders on Saturday. But it's a who's who of playing right now for the Florida Panthers. It looked like Matthew Tkachuk, the star of this team right now that is healthy, was helping out his brother, Brady Tkachuk, and the Ottawa Senators maybe in the playoff push, because this New York Islanders team is pushing for one of those last playoff spots. We've talked about the playoff push for other teams here on Florida Panthers Daily. We'll continue to keep you updated as we go every single day, Monday through Friday. But the Islanders are a good team at home now, 21-12-2. The Panthers under 500 on the road, 16-19. So kind of the game you expected, but maybe when you got up 2-0, a lot of fans saying, whoa, calm down, Matthew Tkachuk. We need that top 10 pick. Let's maybe not spoil it too much. And well, it about turned in to what you would expect it to. Again, 5-2 was the final on Saturday. And then it was another afternoon matinee for the Florida Panthers on Sunday. And this time it was in the world's most famous arena inside Madison Square Garden. And well, it looked for the first period and even the start of the second like two teams at the bottom of the standings where the Rangers and the Panthers sit. Two teams that may be trying to tank is what this game kind of looked like in the onset of it. And it really didn't change. The Panthers looked like they were going to take the lead on what would be Matthew Tkachuk's third goal early in the second period. You went to the second period in a period that was dominated by the Florida Panthers, 14-5 shots on goal, 30-15 shots attempt. But it was Igor Shesterkin keeping the Rangers in the game, doing what you expect from one of the game's best. And when I said Matthew Tkachuk was finally able to beat him, well, it would be reviewed, and the Panthers would have that goal erased. We would go scoreless through the first two periods. Again, two teams that are looking maybe to lose games, and it kind of felt like that yesterday afternoon. 18-12 were the shots on goal going into the third period. Panthers still led in attempts, 41-30. But in that third period, the Rangers would get the lead. About 5 minutes in, they would not give it up, and it looked like the Panthers were going to get shut out by Igor, who looked like he was back to full Igor strength. Panthers would tack one on in the last minute. Mackie Samoskevich would pick up his 7th of the year. But the lines all jumbled right now for the Florida Panthers. I mean, you kind of got to expect the outing that you got from the Florida Panthers. And what was an Eastern Conference Finals rematch from just 2 years ago? Only 15 total players played just 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Finals that played in the game yesterday afternoon. 7 for the Panthers, 8 for the Rangers. I would have thought maybe the other way around with how much the Rangers have been selling and how many people are in and out of the lineup for the Florida Panthers, that maybe the Panthers would have had less or more players. I don't know, but not a lot of players. Only 15 players from the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago played in this one. I mean, you look at the top line that the Panthers rolled out yesterday: Carter Verhaeghe, Eetu Luostarinen, and Matthew Tkachuk. Okay. But we've talked a lot about A.J. Greer and how good he's been on the depth lines for the Florida Panthers. He was up on that second line yesterday with Boqvist and Samoskevich. It's that type of year for the Florida Panthers, who now just get better chances at a top 10 pick, because we've talked about two teams sitting near the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Well, the two bottom teams in the Eastern Conference. Now the Rangers make up a little ground, improving the Panthers' odds a little bit as we continue to get towards the end of the season. Speaking of the playoff push out west, we've talked about how much better the Eastern Conference is this year right here on Florida Panthers Daily. Well, out west, some big news yesterday. The Knights letting Bruce Cassidy go from behind the bench. Their head coach no longer. They've named John Tortorella the head coach in Vegas. So some moves being made in the Western Conference. One last note on yesterday's game. Everyone put their best foot forward, but it wasn't enough. And I started the show talking about college basketball here on a hockey podcast because we are doing a fan vote that I need your help in. As you go down and hit that subscribe button down below, make sure you comment as well who you have, because we've made it to the final four of our March Madness bracket style challenge here on Florida Panthers Daily. You voted and got down to these final four players. Again, the format, there were 4 brackets. We got to pick a winner who you think would win in a shootout battle with Sergei Bobrovsky in between the nets. In our first bracket, we had Brad Marchand come out of a region. We had Matthew Tkachuk come out of a region. We had Sam Reinhart come out of a region. And we had Carter Verhaeghe come out of a region. So in our first Final Four matchup that I need you to vote on down below, it'll be Carter Verhaeghe versus Brad Marchand. Who do you think would win in a shootout battle, best of 3, however many rounds it takes, with Sergei Bobrovsky in it? Do you think it's Brad Marchand or do you think it's Carter Verhaeghe? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have our championship on Wednesday's episode, and then we'll release the winner on Friday. It'll be a 2-day vote on that. We'll have our second Final Four matchup coming up tomorrow on Tuesday here on Florida Panthers Daily. Make sure you subscribe down below because it's been a lot of fun doing this March Madness bracket challenge of Florida Panthers players. Not as fun as that game was yesterday for Duke and UConn. One of the best games in March you will ever see. A buzzer beater. Will there be a buzzer beater in our bracket challenge here on Florida Panthers Daily? Well, that is up to you. Let us know in the comments below. Again, Brad Marchand or Carter Verhaeghe in a shootout challenge against Sergei Bobrovsky. I think I know who I would pick to win, but it's not up to me. It is up to you, the listener, as you subscribe here on Florida Panthers Daily. We go every single day, Monday through Friday. Now we continue to bring you to the year's end as we inch closer for the Florida Panthers, who will have 4 games coming up this week. The first 2 will be at home, starting Tuesday night against the Ottawa Senators, a team I mentioned pushing for the playoffs. It would be kind of cool if the roles were reversed this year. Obviously, you want Matthew Tkachuk to be battling till the end, but if Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk is up with Keith up in the stands, that would be a pretty cool sight to see. I hope Ottawa with Brady Tkachuk. I hope Brady Tkachuk has success this year in the playoffs. I'll say that. Then Boston comes to town Thursday night. Both of those 7 p.m. puck drops for the Florida Panthers Tuesday and Thursday against Ottawa and Boston. Then it's off for a long road trip, a 5-game road trip that gets started in Pittsburgh on Saturday. And it's another weekend doubleheader for the Florida Panthers, both this time against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Saturday will be at 5 p.m. Sunday will be at 3 p.m. So hopefully the Panthers got used to playing 2 games on back-to-back days in the same city, because they will be doing that again this weekend. Again, not a lot of games left after that 5-game road trip. The Panthers will return home for 2 at home to round out the year, but there's not a lot of time left in this 2025-2026 hockey season. But we have you covered no matter what, no matter how the season's going, right here on Florida Panthers Daily. Again, subscribe down below. We need your help all week long on our fan vote for our Final Four. Again today, Brad Marchand versus Carter Verhaeghe. Let me know who you have winning that shootout battle. They will advance to our championship to face the winner of our Final Four game. That'll take place tomorrow right here on Florida Panthers Daily. Until tomorrow, subscribe, comment your winner below. My social medias are AJ Sheridan Radio. Until tomorrow, let's go Cats.